trajectory and deep appreciation of the sources. XI. In the appendix is a syllabus, which is a generous act and will enable anyone who has the courage and savvy to instruct and self-instruct. Centering Beyonce, Allred makes a catalog, writ large, of the work of 40 years of black feminist political and social theorists, literary critics and theorists, novelists, poets, essayists, performance artists, journalists, filmmakers, and visual artists. Allred calls them all in, from the pioneers Toni Cade Bambara, Barbara Christian, Audre Lorde, and Florence Kennedy, to the more contemporary likes of Angela Davis, Kimberle Crenshaw, and Bell Hooks, to younger innovators like Stacey Ann Chin, Kara Keeling, Kara Walker, and Janet Mock. He even includes reference to my own lesbianism, an act of resistance, from the foundational This Bridge Called My Back, Writings by Radical Women of Color, 1981. Edited by Cherie Moraga and Gloria Anzaldúa. Queen Bey is ensconced in this archive. I welcome her and will enjoy being there with her. In a 2016 piece for The New Yorker, Hilton Als claims that Beyonce gives the world formulas in Lemonade, instead of diving deeper into her art. Formulaic or not, I consider Beyonce's Lemonade 2016 a magnum opus, and so does Allred. And like Beyonce, it is a tour de force. Allred reads Lemonade as a reference to Toni Morrison's own magnum opus, Beloved, 1987, as well as to Julie Dash's pinnacle film, Daughters of the Dust, 1991. I like his play in Chapter 4, Ghosts of Slavery Past, on Morrison's concept in Beloved of rememory as thought pictures of slavery, or, as he calls it out, slavery's racist afterlife, which is everywhere a repellent palimpsest, always lurking. 84. The traumatic past, and not just ours, but others as well, may present itself at any moment. If slavery's thought pictures are everywhere, and they are, then Beyonce's Lemonade is just such a thought picture, with all its haunting visuality and musicality. Thus, the strike-through of past. Slavery is never past. The ghosts of slavery are always behind, ahead, and around us, as Audre Lorde tells us in her brilliant volume of poetry, Our Dead Behind Us, 1986. They are there, pushing us forward. Allred stays away from interpreting Lemonade as a parable of hubby Jay-Z's infidelity, and instead engages it as Beyonce's critique of America's infidelity, its bankrupt promises to African Americans of equal treatment, which grow more bankrupt by the day. This graver infidelity is borne out as we view scenes in Lemonade of poor and displaced black people in New Orleans after the disaster of Hurricane Katrina, with no help in sight from the George W. Bush administration. This was rehearsal for the treatment of the people of Puerto Rico by the Trump administration in the wake of Hurricane Maria in 2017. At least Bush and Bill Clinton raised money for the long-term relief of Katrina survivors. In this way, Beyonce's Lemonade becomes another forceful visual archive of U.S. betrayal of its citizens. Again, Allred joins Beyonce's visual reference in Lemonade to the injustices done to Katrina survivors with Morrison's literary indictment of the evils of slavery in Beloved, and in his book, he puts the two in conversation. Beyonce has long been sitting in the same cemetery as Morrison, attempting to listen to highly vocal ghosts. The ghost of Beloved herself, actually, might be hiding in the repellent landscape of déjà vu, and déjà vu as a phenomenon is just another form of rememory. 84. Definitely, but Beyonce has not been sitting in that cemetery as long as Morrison has been sitting in that cemetery. Come on. However, Beyonce may be able to sit with Miss Morrison in that cemetery, but always in deference to the black feminist thinkers who came before. Full disclosure, Kevin Allred joined my graduate class, Feminism, Theory and Practice, in the fall of 2008. Beyonce was nowhere on the syllabus, though she would have been a boon. The course was always an experiment in melding activism and theory, i.e., how do we nurture our practice, and how do we practice an integrated struggle? Allred, as were many of the students, was well-versed in black feminist studies, and his whiteness didn't get in the way of his knowledge or participation in the class. Ain't I a Diva is evidence of his scholarly commitment to placing black women at the center of our struggle for an empowered sexuality. Signs of this commitment were